Alright, so welcome back. In the past video we have talked about the media tab, and now we're moving on towards the cut tab. So the second tab in Davinci Resolve is the cut tab. The cut tab does what you would expect it to do. You use it for making cuts, you use it for editing. But honestly, I never use it, and most people will never use the cut tab. And you won't use it if you want to create good videos, because the main purpose of the cut tab is to ease the process for those who do not need to make professional edits. So I will never use the cut tab, and if you want to become a professional video editor, you will probably not use it. But I decided to show it to you because the cut tab might be useful sometimes. For example, it might be useful when you have a Zoom call and you don't need to go into the edit tab. You simply need to make some cuts, you need to arrange the clips, maybe add some smaller videos, and nothing too hard. So in that case, I guess that the cut tab might prove its usefulness. You have two timelines down here. This one will display the whole video, and this one will be a zoomed in timeline. But also you will have a third timeline here, but more on that later. So let's actually add one clip here to the timeline. I will add this clip and you add it here, and now you see you can see your video into the timeline. Let's say you wanted to add one more clip. Well, in order to do that, all you have to do is again go here and grab it and add it after the first one. And now you have two clips. You can also add your clip in the second timeline, this way. It works both ways. Now, let's say you wanted to make a cut. So in order to make a cut, you have two options. The first one is by pressing Ctrl B, which is the shortcut for making cuts, Ctrl B. But I guess I will show you more shortcuts in the future videos. So for now, you have to know that in order to make a cut, you have to take this timeline bar or timeline line, and I don't know how it's called, but you have to take it, go to the place where you want to make the cut, then go to this icon and press on it. And as you can see, I have made a cut. I have splitted these two videos. If I want to make one more cut, let's say I want to go here, then I go here again, I click on this scissor and I make another cut. Now what I could do is I could change the position of this segment, which I have just cutted in between, and I can take it upwards, as you can see, move it around, play with it, and yeah, that's what I could do. But as you can see, in order to move your segments into this cut tab, you have two options. If your segment is big enough, you could do it. You could move it from this first tab, because it gives you a bigger perspective. It's easier to use. But let's say you have smaller clips and the video is long, you won't be able to select them as easy as you select them here. So you could just take it from the second timeline and move it wherever you need it to be. Alright, so I will delete this video. In order to delete a video, you could right click on it and press on cut, or you could simply click on delete and the video has been deleted. Now let's say I want to delete this video too, or actually I want to cut it here, then delete this one. Then I can put this video down here and this one here, and I will cut this one. Alright, so now we have 3 segments and 2 videos. Let's move on to the next thing that this cut page can do. So as I told you, the first method to add videos onto the timeline is to drag them. But let's say you don't want to drag them. Let's say you want to add them in a different way. Let's say you cannot drag them. So the more professional way to add videos onto the timeline into the cut page is by selecting them here. When you select your video, you are able to trim it down. You are able to choose which parts of your video you actually want to import. So you won't import the whole video. Alright, and as you can see, I have trimmed this video. Now in order to import this video, you have to go here to append and click on it. And as you can see, I have just appended this video. What append does is that imports your video right after the last video. So let's say my course, or let's say my timeline line is here. If I append it here, it will be appended only after everything else ends, only after all of these segments. So it will not overwrite the existing segments. Now let's say I want to import a video. Let's say I want to add a video into the timeline, but not add it at the end. I want to add it in between these 2 clips. So let's say I want to add this clip. I will trim it down. I will trim it down this way, and this way. And now let's say I want to add it to the timeline in between those 2 clips. I can do it by using this smart insert method. So if I click on this icon, I will have my clip in between those 2 clips. So it's not, it has not been added at the ending. It has been added in between the clips I have selected. So if my line was here, if this timeline line was here, this play line was here, and I used this smart insert method again, it would be between these other 2 clips. So you probably have got a point. Next you have this place on top method. So if you want to add let's say this video, but you don't want to add it on the first track, you can use this method and it will be added on the second track, as you can see. So now I have a clip on the second track. Let's say I want to add this clip on the third track, so I will use this place on top method once again, and now I have the video on the third track. And I will delete them because I don't need them, and we'll leave only this one. Now the best thing about this cut page is the fact that you have 2 timelines and it's easy to work with them actually. Now the next thing I want to teach you is how you can change the actual clip but not change its segments. So what I mean by that is, let's say I have trimmed this video down, but I needed the last part, not the beginning. And I didn't want to edit this segment. I wanted to leave the segment as it is. So what I would do is I would come here and then with my cursor I would move the track to the left until I got to the end, and that's where I want it to be. And as you can see, the segment has not changed at all, but the video did. So if I move it again, what you will see is on the preview screen I have 4 different screens. The left upper screen is for what the viewer will see at the beginning of this segment. For the right upper screen is what the viewer will see at the end of this segment. For the lower left screen is what is right before this segment, and for the right lower screen is what the viewer will see right after this segment. And that's actually what happens. For example, if I go before I have this video, if I go after I have this video, and this is the difference that was shown there. And again, that's how you can change the video but not change the segment. You can change the time of the video but not the segment, and this works for any video in the cut page. So I can do it again with this one. All I have to do is come here at this icon and simply click on it and drag it right or left, and I can change the video, the part of the video, but I don't change the segment at all. Also, for an example, if you want to add fast transitions into Davinci, into the cut page, you could simply take your line, take your play line, get it to the point where you want to add the transition, and add it by going to this icon and click on it. And now you have your transitions. You can make it bigger or smaller. And now let's preview it, and this is what you would get. So let's do it once more. I will make it a little bit bigger this way. So yeah, the transition works. There's a bit of delay because I'm recording and editing at the same time, so Davinci works a bit slower for me right now, but it works fine when you're editing it. These are the basic options for the cut page. Let's move on to the next, a little bit more professional options. So here you have some other options. In order to see them, you have to click on this icon. Where are the tools? And here you can do different things such as zooming in or zooming out, change the position of the video, rotate it, and add some different effects. In order to go back to all of the initial settings for different options in these tools, you have to go here where the icons are and click on this reverse icon. But if you want to reverse everything, you go here and you reverse it to where it was before. Next is the cropping option. So at the cropping option, you simply crop the video if you need to crop it, and it's pretty straightforward, nothing too hard to understand. But I guess I will reset everything and let's move on. Here you've got the animations. I mean, these are basic animations, and I will not get into details right now because I don't want you to understand the animations in a wrong way of doing them, because it's not as professional doing animation this way. So I will actually show you another way of animating your video, which is much better than here. Next, you've got a composite. Here you can make your video transparent, you can change the way it looks, and so on. In order to reset everything, you go here and you reset it. Here you have the time speed. Basically, you can speed up the video and play it fast forward into your timeline. So if you want to create a time lapse, you can use this tool. So if I play this video right now, it will be moving very fast, as you can see here. It's moving very fast, as you can see. Next, you've got the stabilizer. So if your footage is shaky, you can stabilize it, and this way your video will look very clear and really good. Okay, next we have different tools, but I won't get into details because these tools I have shown you here are the most important ones, the ones that you have to remember. And finally, I mean, here you have these buttons, which I guess you know what they do. So if you play the video and you want to replay it at the end, you click on this icon and you leave it turned on, and if you play the video, it will start again when it gets to the end. Using this tool, you can jump through clips. So basically jump to the next segment using this tool. This one is for playback forward, and this one is for playback backwards. This is for stopping. These two are used if you want to select only a part of the video, and it's used especially when you want to render your video and render only what's from here and beyond, nothing that's backwards, nothing that's behind. Or you can do it the other way, like this, I guess. Or you can do it the other way using this other sign, which renders everything from the start till here. Also, let's say you wanted to add some effects in here. Well, for that, you could simply come here, where are the icons, and add different effects, different transitions, or maybe some text, or maybe some effects, as I said. But more on that in the edit page section. Now, if you want to change the way you see the preview part of the screen, this preview side of the screen, you can do it by going here. For the preview screen, this kind of preview screen is for the timeline. So let's say that you want to preview what's on the timeline, you use this kind of preview screen. If you want to preview what is in the media, what's in your media tab, you go here and you can preview it. If you want to preview everything that's in the media tab, basically if you want to have all of your videos packed up together into one big video, you can do it this way and you can move it around and see what video works for you. So that's it pretty much on the cut tab and its basics. Now again, I don't recommend using it unless you don't want to have professional looking videos, but if you truly want to be a professional editor, we will only use the edit tab because that's the one to go. That's the one that actually is more professional, gives you more tools, and for me it's much easier to edit my videos from the edit tab. And that's because that's how I'm used to editing videos, from the edit tab and not the cut tab, because this kind of user interface seems to look just like a mobile video editing app, and I quite don't enjoy working on those. So that's why I will never use the cut tab. So for now, delete everything you've done in the cut tab. See you in the next video, and all the best to you.